The views expressed in the following podcasts are of such low quality that our local landfill has declined to accept them. They are more acidic in tone than battery acid and have been barred by every recycling depot. They do not reflect the views of our employers, spouses, friends, colleagues, or our sober selves. Any direct environmental impacts of 2 and Change are unintended side effects of our very filthy sense of humor. Your mileage may vary. Welcome to 2 and Change. The people are real, the drinking is real, and the opinions, unfortunately, are also real. Today's episode, we're actually going to talk trash.
What, like trash talk?
No, municipal.
Yes, exactly, you skinny needle dick
No,
bastard.
come on. You guys promised if I picked the topic, you'd take it seriously.
All right. Sorry about that.
I guess we're just recycling our old behaviors.
Damn it, Tim.
I guess we're not taking him literally enough. Get
Yes,
it?
I get it. Look, I had this whole thing prepared, okay? Let's just do a serious intro for once, all right?
All right, fine. What's your thing?
Well, I was looking into the renowned Brazilian politician and urban planner, Jamie Lerner.
Not the Jamie Lerner.
Come on, Mike.
He said that garbage removal is a citizen responsibility, and I think
Now,
that...
is that a quote from Jamie Lerner?
Yes, it is. Anyway, and some of his ideas are quite...
I have a quote. I have a quote I prepared from a Canadian, well-known, civil-minded, humanitarian. I actually looked it up in preparation of the show.
Really?
Okay.
Last week, the night before I was to do a show in Germany, 4 girls went into a dumpster so they could sneak into the building. They climbed in and hid. When the guys working on the truck started getting the garbage, they found them straight away. It was crazy.
That's interesting. Were they some kind of activists or something, like making a statement on homelessness in Europe?
No, just believers, I think.
Did you just quote Justin Bieber? Look, I'm not sure I can keep going with this. If you're just going
Come
to...
on, Josh. You have to keep going.
But he's...
You can do it. He's just trying to rile you up.
Yeah, it's called the garbage can, not a garbage can't.
Nice one.
Damn it, I'm done. That's it.
No, okay, come on. Mike, apologize.
All right, I'm sorry. I'll just be a fly on the...
No, I'm cutting you off there. It's...
Let's just change the topic. Josh, how have you been?
Rubbish. Welcome to 2 and Change. This is Josh.
We give you one thing to do.
We give the snap it. Here's Josh looking at the script for the intro going, are we doing it again? What? Oh, no, the show is
No,
here.
I'll catch up.
We gotta do
I'll
the
catch
show.
up. I'm still in last week's time.
Welcome back, by the way.
Yeah, it was a good couch. Thanks for asking.
You're more than welcome.
We didn't ask.
We didn't ask, but you're welcome anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
technically, you don't want to ruin the illusion because that's not next week's show. This isn't next week's show. This is the show after next week.
Right.
so you ruined the illusion.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
It's all your
bet
fault.
It's all my fault. Anyway.
I'm drinking Le Fin de Mont
Nice.
Unibrew. It is 9.9 mediocres, or we have a mediocre scale now, don't we?
No,
the
it's not
mediocres
codified.
only apply to official reviews.
Yes.
Oh.
Which this is not at all.
Okay, so it's mediocrely.
It's
Nice.
mediocrely. There
Actually,
you
it's
go.
actually one of my favorite beers, so
It's really good.
Yeah.
I like
Not
it.
bad, not bad. I was thinking about going back to the Tomatin 12 year. However, I went with the Highland Park 12 year scotch this evening, and I had more than one shot of it, and I'm more than satisfied with it. I actually have already downed it, followed up with a glass of water so I don't get a headache later. So that's kind of nice. On the mediocre scale, that one is 4 unicorns.
Nice. Well, I'm drinking something I've never
No
had
Lucky
before.
Charms?
No Lucky Charms. Those are reserved for the Tomatin 12 year.
Fair enough.
Well, I'm going to give this one some heart, stars, and horseshoes, but no clovers, but maybe half a blue moon. This is a Unibrew,
A Unibrew.
1837.
Very good year. Almost as old as I am. Ah.
1814 was a better year.
What the hell?
That
The hell
so
was
says
that?
Colonel
Have you
Jackson.
never seen Lord of the Rings? Come on.
Oh, yes. Okay, now. Yes, I'm not. Yes, I've seen it.
There.
Like everybody.
There.
But I don't. Anyway. So it's quite nice. Yeah, I'll give it several mediocres and maybe a good job sticker. I'll
A
give it
good job sticker. There you go.
All right. So trash talk. What you got, Josh?
I have stuff for trash talk.
Of course you do. This is your topic.
Well, okay. How about this? How do I start this off? So I was reading in this.
We're in Canada. It's garbage.
The difference being?
Well, but there's a.
Linguistics.
I call it rubbish.
You shush.
I do. I call it rubbish. My kids are when they have rubbish at the table, I'm like, make sure you put your rubbish in the rubbish bin. It's fine. It's totally okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
Churchill.
you put your rubbish in the garburator. Yes, we get it.
We do not have a garburator.
No
It's
one in
that-
Canada does.
And
We'll
what is
reserve
this?
that
And you
for the
recycle
next-
your aluminium. Like
My first
You
experience
put your
with the gar-
yogurt with the aluminium.
My,
Yes.
my first experience with the garburator was in a hotel room, and I didn't know what it was. There was this light switch above the sink, and all of a sudden I turn it on, and this thing starts like devouring souls of the damned in the middle of my sink. I'm like, what the hell is this?
And this is why Mike only has one hand.
That's a garbage disposal?
Garbage disposal.
It's kind of like a car hold.
a car hole.
Well, no, it's like
I call it a garage.
it's this thing like you shove stuff down the sink, and there's like this bladed thing that like chews up the broccoli that you didn't want to eat at supper time down the sink, and turns it's a weird thing.
It is objectively weird.
What is that? Why is that?
It's called American ingenuity that creeped across the border.
Creeped
then,
across
like,
the border, indeed.
Filled all of our sewers, and now they have fatbergs.
I'm like,
Alligators.
But, like,
that's mainly from poo.
you could dispose of a body in one of those things. Not that I would know. Like it was.
They've done that in more than one
True
movie.
story. Mike used to have 8 children.
No comment.
So one thing I actually want to talk about is that China has recently announced that they are going to stop taking our plastic for recycling because they're like, okay, world, you have to quit dumping all your recyclables on us so we can do it for you because, we don't want to be like, your dumping ground for this crap anymore.
Why not?
So municipalities all over the world are going, holy shit, we just used to send our shit to China. So, I mean, what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
So there have been a couple of different ways that I've seen garbage disposal work. In my, depending on where I live. There was a time where I was living somewhere just north of town, rural environment, and I had to do these stupid, inconvenient things. They're bag tags. You have to go to like the convenience store.
Tags.
So I didn't think they were that bad until we went to the bins. Because the bins, you don't have to remember to go out and buy these bag tags and tie them to the bag or whatever it is. Like it just took one thing off my list, and I just knew it was built into my property taxes, and I could just get rid of the rubbish, and the dump truck would come and take it all away.
Well, I mean, bag tags are more of a... So the municipality I lived in once, Nanaimo, BC, did bag tags, but this is how it worked. You got 2 bags. You can throw away as much as you want as long as you have a tag for it.
I'm going to introduce you to a term that will make your skin crawl.
Tell me more.
Kathleen Wynn's coming back.
No, it's called Pigouvian Taxes.
Ouch.
And we'll be right back after we beat Josh with a hammer.
No kidding.
Pigouvian taxes is the concept of essentially to encourage behavior based on and incentivizing the citizenry by
Social
taxes.
Engineering.
Social engineering.
This is social engineering.
Social engineering.
You say that like it's a good thing.
By taxes, yes.
You say it's a good thing.
Yes.
Social engineering
hold on a
is
second.
a
We
good
do it
thing.
all. We do it all the time with tax breaks. Not necessarily with having to pay something. Yeah, don't give me the stink eye there.
It's not the stink eye, it's a twitchy eye because...
But I'm right. We incentivize private corporations with tax breaks to open up factories, to do this, to do that, to do the other. With tax breaks,
come to Ontario and open up shop. We promise to make you incentivized to come here and open up shop. We promise to not steal from you.
We do tax breaks for
as much
charitable deductions. That is an incentive. That's an incentivizing behavior.
Yes, we promise not to steal your money from you.
But
as
here's
long as
my
you're
thing,
giving it
though.
away.
As a libertarian, you have a problem with pay as you throw, which would be the scheme. One of those schemes would be.
To be honest, I don't mind the idea of pay as you throw. I don't like who's administering it, but that's just because I don't trust them to not mismanage the money. The idea of a bag tag, though, that's just bloody inconvenient. Like, here's the thing: how it works so I live in Strathroy-Caradoc. The way it works here is that there's 2 different ways you can do it, and it's all done through property taxes. You can actually pay a larger amount of property taxes, and you get a larger bin. Or you pay like a standard amount, and there's like so the bins are the same. Like the
bins are
that's
the city's
actually
bins.
I prefer that method over.
Yeah, I've lived in a city that did that. It was like $8 for this size bin, $12 for this size bin.
And it's all rolled into your and we have the larger bin. That was there. It was like in the garbage thing, and there's no weight limit. There's no nothing like that. It's just the size.
You can fill it with bowling balls or kitty litter, whatever you want. They'll take care of it.
Or as it turns out, last year's plant waste from my yard.
So here's the thing.
Yeah, plant waste.
Okay,
That's right.
There's no human fingers in there.
This is taking a dark.
Yes, it has.
Carburetors.
Carburetors.
But you just sort of explained another version of pay as you throw. All of these versions of the bag tags, the RFID tags. I'll get into that why I prefer those in a minute. But
that sounds technologically advanced.
The the large bins with
Yeah.
the levy based on your property taxes, that sort of stuff, right?
Sure,
That's the
sure.
version Strathroy Caradoc uses. Those are all pay-as-you-throw schemes.
Yes.
And you've just proven that they sort of work, right?
Not
Proven.
Okay, you haven't proven, but research has then, because research basically has said those schemes drastically reduce the amount of garbage waste that actually goes, and it increases the amount of cycling, because with pay as you throw, recycling is always free, or in some places they actually pay you for recycling. So
Didn't Guelph have-
I didn't get my check in the mail for that.
yeah, it's called Recycle Bank, and it's actually really cool. They do it in some places, but
I remember something about Guelph making a profit off of. Was it their green bin system they make a profit off of? Or?
So-
My brother lives in Guelph. He has 3 bins. He's got the blue one for recycling, the black one for regular waste, and he's got a green one for compost. Is that what you're talking about?
no, yes and no. So the Recycle Bank is different. The Recycle Bank,
the green bin is socialism.
Essentially, you take, the Recycle Bank is that concept of like, when people would go and strip copper wires out of old buildings and stuff and pay for them. It's sort of a similar concept, but it's more
like
of
Mike's brother.
But it's more like an everyday
There.
recycling. So plastic bottles, those sort of things.
Sure.
You can. Well, often it's like you'll get. Local businesses will participate in the Recycle Bank, and they'll have like a voucher sort of system or a point system built into the city that they can exchange for something from those businesses. So it increases local economy as well. So it's kind of a win-win for everyone.
So if I participate to a certain point, or if I recycle a certain amount of things, I say get certain number of points, like tickets, let's say.
Yeah.
And then I could take it, but let's call it a prize counter. And then I can get like an eraser or like
Basically, yeah.
Okay, so it's like an arcade. I love this already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Except you don't get paper tickets because that's just
See, that would be
wasting paper.
awesome if like skee ball, you chuck your
I
garbage.
want this thing to come with like a computer that makes these little bleep bloop sounds as you're.
But again, I want to make like the Lotto 6489 machine where do
Winner, Gagnon.
It took me forever to realize that Ganyo. I thought it was like Keno, like the game they were playing or something. I was like, what the
You
hell?
won the Gagnon game. Hey.
You know what?
Good job.
What always drives me nuts is like I'll go to get like milk or something.
Yeah.
And then it'll be some 55-year-old old lady that comes through and she's got like 30 tickets, and I'm like, fuck you. I hate you. I want all your stuff to die, and you're wasting your money. If you just took that money and put it in a nice index fund or something, you would have money, you crazy ass woman.
Exactly. Yep.
Hey, last time I was buying milk at Loblaws. Hey, I was down to Loblaw, and I was just
You were
buying
down the Loblaws, were you? Eh?
Oh yeah, I was buying a 3 liter of milk, and
3 liters? Where the hell are you buying milk? Look, there's a 4 liter.
it came in bags.
No, but the bags have 4 liters in them.
Mind your business. That's how I got it.
Oh, you know what?
I opened the thing, and the fucking thing mooed at me. They have it rigged now, so at Loblaws.
Hold on.
open-
Are you for real now?
For real. So you open the dairy case,
Yes.
and you're.
That would very quickly piss me off.
It
that could
threw
also
me
be-
off the first time because I thought someone was calling me fat. Look, it's not whole milk. I'm buying that.
I can just see that. Like, I not to make fat jokes or make fun of people who are overly obese, but I just,
It's okay. This is
I
our
see
show.
the scooter, and it's like a 550-pound person, just kind of like.
They're dragging their belly on
and
the
then,
concrete.
and then they grab the door, but they can't actually open it because they're scooters. So
They're reaching with their
They
cane.
have to back their scooter up, right? It's going beep, beep, beep. And meanwhile, it's like, "Moo," with the beep noise over it. This image in my head is just like,
Oh, man.
just crying. Like, it's just, it's too comical.
And then you see them somehow get out of that scooter to put their groceries into their minivan, and you're wondering how in the world that's even possible.
And they're parked sideways in the handicap spot. And you're like, what the?
Exactly.
I just feel bad for their poor mechanic that has to deal with their suspension, their springs, their.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Oh,
laugh,
God.
but I have seen suspensions go for people sitting in their vehicles like that.
I feel like okay, I'm starting to feel like a bad person here.
We are bad people. I thought we established that. Forget your scooter. I want one of those Segways, the ones that don't have handlebars on.
Oh
where you
shit!
just, like,
yeah, you just
those
sort of
things.
lean forward, you lean.
You know
back.
what? You just start putting other animal noise with your scooter, and it's like a whole Lion King thing. You know, like. Back to rubbish.
Exactly. Speaking thereof.
It's not racist. Elton John wrote that,
Wait,
and I'm half
what?
British.
Elton John wrote that?
Yeah. He wrote the music for fucking Lion King, dude.
I thought he wrote just the "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" song.
No, he wrote the whole fucking.
He wrote all of it.
Him and
He
Tim
did
Rice.
not write all of it because "The Lion Sings Tonight" was in that movie.
Oh my god, I'm not talking about incidental music. I'm talking to like all the main pieces. He did Circle
That's
of Life.
the most
he did
That's probably the more iconic song of.
I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts.
Diddly-dee,
There they are, standing in a row. Okay, that's still copyrighted.
all right.
It's still
How
copyrighted.
is it still copyrighted? Disney used it.
Well, they paid for it. We can't.
That's a different thing then.
Okay, garbage.
Yes, garbage. All right.
Like what this episode's turning into.
No kidding.
Anyway.
It's derailed.
Okay, so getting it back on track here. So we're talking about garbage collection, how it relates to our cities, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I'm a little more interested in sort of the other side of the token on this one, right?
You mean where the garbage goes after it's
yeah, where it
picked
goes
up?
after. Because it's one thing to have the garbage collected, but, we just throw it in a fucking plastic thing and it disappears from our house.
Isn't that nice, eh?
It's very nice, but where do we put it?
So, are you ready for this?
Where?
Maybe you know more about this than I do, Josh, but my understanding is that a fair bit of what you put in your blue bin, the recycling bin, ends up in a landfill anyway because of how expensive it would be to properly melt it down.
And we
dispose
also
of it.
suck at recycling.
We also suck at recycling, but I feel like a big part of that is because of energy, the cost of energy. Like, if you could think about it, if it were so ridiculously cheap to create the heat that we would need to melt down plastic properly, it would be a lot easier to recycle it, I think. Wouldn't it be? But except that energy is so expensive because when?
For fuck's sakes, get over it.
Okay, one.
I'm over it now.
It's not that
Okay,
much more expensive.
For one, Ontario has. If you could see me, I'm making the smallest measurement ever. Is that no jokes there?
Yeah.
Anyways,
I was gonna go.
You
Ontario has-
didn't say what he's making the measurement with.
Exactly.
Ontario has that much influence on the world global energy prices. Like they have no
One
real
Josh's
reference.
penis worth.
Whether what Rin does and what Ford does really makes not a big difference in prices of.
That's because we're not generating enough of it for ourselves.
We generate lots.
I know we
export it.
generate lots, but the problem is that when we're generating the way that we do, we're doing it too
Oh,
expensive.
right. So garbage.
Garbage.
Actually, you know what?
Garbage.
Let's take a quick break.
Let's do that.
Let's talk about the way this episode's gonna fucking go while we're on our break, so we can figure this shit out. All right. We'll see you in a bit. You're listening to Two and Change with Tim and.
Hold on, what made you in charge? Who gets to do
Why
the
are you
stuff?
the guy who always gets to start this piece off?
It's my house.
You know, it's my house.
my house.
You know what?
Okay.
It's also Two and Change. You can visit our website at twoandchange.ca.
Also find us wherever our podcasts
You can see Mike
are.
there and Josh.
Yeah,
and
the other
that's-
two important people.
And there's somebody else.
Yeah.
Make sure you go to twoandchange.ca and check us out.
I'm not doing this with you guys anymore. And welcome to the second half of the show where we talk about level 7 fire druids and going to the rippers. Anyway, so we were going
I
to
am
talk...
very proud of my Dungeons and Dragons character. Thank you very much. His name is Ojuve, and his fireballs accidentally burn down the town almost every single time I play, but that's fine.
We can still kick him off, right? We can get...
I think that there's
I think Jordan put it.
I am a member of the High Council, only trial by combat, which, blast it, I forgot to bring my batleth again.
Well, you're fucked because I got mine. Anyway, Josh, you're gonna get this shit show back on rails.
I have a
here?
level.
He has a level.
We literally have a level, yes. Well, it's because I was putting in all the foam in the studio, and sometimes it falls off.
There's no
So-
levels in my house. My house was built in like 1890, probably earlier than that. There's no levels in my house because I don't think the square existed back then.
So before we took a break and then went on random tangents and then went on more random tangents.
Yeah.
we were talking about where the plastic went. And one of the recent things is that China said that we're not taking plastic
We're not taking your shit
because
anymore.
they were well intentioned.
I did not know that they were taking our plastic shit.
Neither did I until I saw the news story.
Yeah, so they was well intentioned and they meant to take our plastic and recycle it, and then it just sort of spiraled out of control and it just ended up
We're
in
like,
giant
whoa,
landfills.
whoa, whoa, what the fuck? You're just sending all your garbage to China. It's like, how is that any better for the environment?
Well, yeah, and that's sort of
Like, what's the carbon footprint of putting this shit on a giant tanker
That's what I'm
and
thinking,
sailing
right?
it over there?
It's not so much that; it's more that it just basically the factories and to recycle it just weren't the upkeep and the pace of which the garbage was coming was far outpacing any time.
We were driving certain Chinese workers to throwing themselves off the roof because it was Foxconn.
That's sad. The thing is China is growing in power and growing in.
Yeah, they've got a middle class now.
Yeah, they didn't have the this is why I don't freak out with China's making more money, their economy's getting bigger. So the fuck what?
Yeah, we all win.
Everyone panicked about the Japanese in the 70s and 80s. Guess what happened? Wages went up.
Everybody got richer.
Then everyone got richer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then we got to find a new China. I don't know, like Botswana.
Also, at a certain point when
Bangladesh, but they spend half the year underwater.
Also, at a certain point, when you have a dominance of if there becomes a dominance of your population in the middle class, really becomes quite hard to do dictatorial level of.
So your dictatorial gets hard. Is what you're saying?
Dictatorial.
It gets very hard.
You can't.
Dictatorial.
It's really hard to have an
that's a mouthful, really.
authoritarian regime over a bunch of people who have money that can afford to.
Well, tell that
You
to
know
the
what?
Saudis.
I dispute that. I actually have to dispute that. See, here's the thing. If you've got a middle class people who are basically content because they have enough money that they can keep themselves relatively comfortable, it's bread in the circus. Can you keep them mildly entertained and fed? They won't overthrow you.
So the Americans is what you're saying.
Who will not overthrow the government no matter how pissed off they get at Trump. No. I mean, we now have, not only do we have mass graves of people who tried to cross the border.
Well, not mass graves that we found yet.
Yes.
We found mass graves.
In Texas.
In Texas. Mass graves.
Did I miss this one?
You missed this one.
Holy shit, what?
We have found mass graves in Texas of migrants who tried to cross through the desert, and they called 911 and got left for hours until they died, and then we hooked them into a mass grave.
We're not talking about. So we're not necessarily talking about the U.S. massacring people. We're talking about
not helping them, leaving them to die.
It's like Batman going, "I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you."
Exactly.
It's one of those shit.
That's exactly it. And
I'm not sure if that's any morally any better, really.
But then we have to go in and do something with the bodies. So there's literally mass graves now of people who have tried to cross the border and have perished in the desert.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Now you have
the richest country in the world. You can spare a couple bucks to fucking bury them right. I mean, Jesus.
And that's exactly what they're doing now. It's some kind of, and apparently this county that they're finding these graves in was actually quite poor to begin with, so they didn't have the resources.
What the shit is they have $3.
Yeah, exactly.
What the shit is a poor county? This is what I don't get about.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in the fucking place, and I still don't fucking get it, right?
So basically what they did was they built a landfill, talking about garbage, and they filled it full of migrant bodies, which is extremely dark, but that's the only joke I have for that.
It's not a joke. It's so fucking weird, man.
So on the one hand, you've got children in cages, then you've got migrants in holes in the ground.
Back to the original topic.
Yeah, we can. It's our fucking show. We can talk about whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah,
I mean, okay. Here's the thing. This is where I can link the two, right?
Sure. I thought I just did with the landfill joke. Is that not a good link to you?
Little funny, but a little dark.
A little bit dark. Little dark.
A little dark.
A little dark.
Yeah, a little dark.
A little dark. Very
children.
little. Ah, yes, the little.
That's.
Thank you for backing me up on that, Josh. I thought I was the only devil's advocate.
If the internet has standards, I think we just broke it. If we're only going to be listening to on 4chan, and that's it.
That's about it. Yeah.
Wow. Welcome to our next guest, Pepe the Frog.
For clarification, I am outraged and super angry.
You know what?
But
so am I.
But I can make fun of Hitler equally. So it's
there. It is we hate all people now. And actually, it's worth noting this is probably the one. The reason we did not want to do a show on the migrant crisis is because we like to have a back and forth where there's differences of opinion. There are no differences of opinion. The communist, the centrist, and the libertarian here all hate what's going on down there with.
I like how he says though the polar opposite of a communist is him. So I mean, take your victories where you can.
What are you talking? That is a win. That's a huge win. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Think about this for a sec.
I don't like being called a communist.
Oh well,
you keep your opinions to yourself, comrade.
I've got a Ho Chi Minh magnet on my fridge that I got as a gift from Jordan. If you want, I can. I mean, it might fit better.
I saw that. Hey, he said. I think Jordan sent me the photo. I'll try and put that up on our site.
It's if you don't have the photo, I'll take one and I'll send it to you. I have a Ho Chi Minh, and here's the thing: I put it on my fridge because we entertain people from my church every so often, and Jordan wanted to know what the reaction was. With apologies to Jordan, they've seen it. Not one of them had a clue who it was.
You know what's funny? I love when stuff like that happens.
Tell him it's Jesus to the Cambodians.
At our conference, we had two big giant PowerPoints. We had 200 people in the room doing this really technical demonstration on one of our GIS products, and one of the things was flux capacitor analyst. That's one of the things.
Really?
Yeah, put
How
it
do
in
I do
there. Like,
And not one person noticed?
well, I noticed.
Yeah, you noticed, yeah.
I think there was a couple of chuckles out in the audience when I was looking, but for the most part, like no one caught it because it was just with a bunch of other like really technical words, and everyone was just. I think everyone was hungover from the night before.
Oh, there you go.
So
Who was the flux capacitor analyst?
So
it was just in there. It was just tucked in.
At my
there.
job in one of the so we have like these meeting room sort of things, like 3 or 4 of them
Yeah.
on each side, and we have the whiteboards. And for some reason, for the past 2 years, there was a diagram of a flux capacitor and something flux capacitor. And then they had like this whole flow chart there. They've erased the flow chart, but the flux capacitor thing has been there for 2 years. I want to know, 1, who drew it, and 2, why is it still there?
It's still there because the
That's
dry erase marker
beautiful.
won't erase anymore at that point if it's been there for 2 years. That's why it's still there.
It's really easy to get rid of old dry erase marker. You just take a new.
Welcome
dry
to
erase
Two and Change, where we talk about life hacks for your dry erase marker needs.
Wait, so if you take a dry erase marker and you draw over top of something else that had dry erase on it, it'll
Yeah,
erase that?
and then erase that.
Holy crap! I've
Are
got
we
a
saying
chore.
that's-
I've got a house
Hold
chore
on,
chart that's about
got
to get
this. I got
resurrected.
this. Would you say that's racist? Okay.
I'm starting to question whether this episode
My
should
best
be
impression
aired.
of crickets is coming right now.
That was
That's like a Wookiee that just huffed helium. Okay, I can't do that. Anyway, yep. So fuck Donald Trump, fuck children concentration camps. That's all fucked up.
And the
This
reason
is
we
where
did not want to do a show on that is because we all agree. So let's
It's
talk
all
about
fucked
something.
up.
So let's talk about
talk
something we
about
don't-
garbage.
Let's talk about garbage.
yeah, something that we may or may not
into
agree
the
on.
mic, Josh. Into
Yeah,
Into the mic.
So back to pay as you throw taxes. So I've obviously I've obviously done a lot of work in the area of studying garbage because I don't know why I find that interesting.
What do
we
you
both-
do for a living, Josh?
We
I
both
study
went to
garbage.
Western. Am I right?
You guys are
I
filling me.
went to UWO.
You guys are filling me with confidence now that I'm pursuing my bachelor's degree, and you guys are here to talk about garbage. It's wonderful. I have such a wonderful life to look forward to. This is great.
You will spend hours just interested in
Garbage.
completely inane things that don't matter.
You know what? That is already starting. I spent way too much time interested in Frankenstein's monster.
Ooh, I like Frankenstein's monster.
Meh. I mean, I found the story to be somewhat lackluster.
So garbage.
Garbage.
This is where I link this whole fucking thing to everything going on, right? We have this disposable culture, and that's part of the problem too. That we have this idea.
Wait, the Mexicans are a disposable culture?
They've become a disposable people to the U.S. They're great when you want them to pick your fucking crops or do all your dirty work.
Yeah.
But you know what? As soon as it's inconvenient or politically inconvenient,
Or as soon as they want things like, I don't know, American benefits?
then all of a sudden they are disposable. As soon as they say, hey, maybe we shouldn't be working for a nickel an hour or $1 a bushel, maybe then they start looking at, hey, maybe we should actually do some shit. Then guess what? That's when you start having these fucking problems. And that's part of the problem. We buy things, we use them, we throw them away. And no, Canada's not innocent in this. No Western nation's innocent in
No,
this.
we're not. Because, I mean, it's very
It's almost
visible.
like there's this overarching idea where you always have to grow, and you always have to permanently grow and may produce more in order to keep the economy sustained. It's almost like this weird concept of capitalism that seems to fuck everything over.
But you do.
I wonder if that's something
I'm a
to do with
believer
this.
in that concept. Are you kidding me? If you ever don't grow, I mean, it's a. Hang on. Ferengi, rules of acquisition number 112, expand or die. 85. That's rule number 85.
Jesus fuck, I'm not even that hardcore where
There.
I actually memorize what rule number it is.
Rule of acquisition number 85, expand or die. I think it's 85. I can look that up later.
War is good for business.
That's 35.
And peace is good for business.
That's 34.
36. I thought it was 34. Okay.
34, 35, 35, 36. That's actually
Jesus
possible.
fuck! Even I am like I've got I did a Klingon wedding and I don't even fucking
We
know
have
this.
completely
That's
lost
why
Josh.
I'm lost. I'm trying to go like, what the
Did the word Ferengi mean
For-
anything to
Ferengi
you?
are-
No, I
they-
thought it was some sort of economic something, and I'm trying to I read
It
a
was
lot of
Dr.
stuff.
Wilbur Ferengi who first said.
Well, in a way, they are kind of Mike's people. They're hyper libertarians.
I really like Quark. Quark was a really cool guy. I liked his character. He was a
like-
philanthropist.
Okay, never do that again. Anyway,
Fine.
So disposable society is kind of where, we wouldn't have to recycle so much shit if I'm guilty. I'm 100% guilty. I just bought a new fucking car. Was my old car, was that a problem with my old car? No, but then again, because we just canceled the fucking electric car credit, I had to time this shit right. So I got my electric car credit before Ford canceled it.
So now you get to put your carbon footprint into the power plant instead of onto the road.
It's still a lot lower. It's still lower.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to be jealous here? Guess how many kilometers I've gone on a quarter of a tank of gas?
And go.
850.
On a quarter of a tank?
Yep. Guess how much I spent on electricity?
How much?
$7, bitch.
That's it?
That's it.
You quantified this.
Yes, I have.
So you're still not going to make that back. I mean, I'll buy yours
Hold
from
on
you.
a second. I've done the math. I'm making it back.
Over how long?
No,
I'm
comparing it to my previous car purchase.
Oh, see. Here's the thing. My most recent vehicle.
An easy calculation. So we say the lifetime of the vehicle is, say, seven years.
Okay, over 7 years.
You are
that.
not going to
stop.
own it for 7 years.
Yeah, so
I plan on it. Yeah.
I've already owned my vehicle.
I've got a 10-year.
For almost 7 years.
So I bought my most recent vehicle, the one that I'm still driving, the one that I drove here this evening. I bought it for $2,000. $2,000 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I am way ahead of you, Tim. Way ahead of you.
I'm not
$2,000.
What about the impact on the environment?
What about it?
Fuck the environment.
As he breathes from his oxygen mask.
I do. Yes, exactly.
He's got that thing from fucking Mad Max Fury
It's
Road.
a Honda Civic. The carbon footprint of that
I
thing is
know.
not bad at all. It's a
Yes,
2007.
yes. And I know people will flame me. Oh, you got a used car, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. I'm already on the new car treadmill, right? I'm on the new car treadmill. I've already purchased a new car. Then I purchased another new car. Now my third new fucking car.
And that's why I'm telling you, you're not going to own it for 7 years. You say, oh, but 7 years from now. No, it's not. Because 4 years, the dealership's going to call and say, we got a shiny new model for you. And you're going to go back.
My plan is that with this one, until I've at least paid it off, doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to own it for 7 years because I tend to overpay my loans because I'm not an idiot.
Okay, very good.
You overpay, and then hopefully you get it paid off, and then maybe you trade it at that point. Hey, I like new cars. It's me. Come on. Fuck it. I work hard. I want a new fucking car. There we go.
I don't begrudge that to you. Just don't sit there and say that you're going to own this thing for the lifespan of the vehicle because that's an irrelevant argument. Because
my lifespan for the vehicle.
Oh, there you go.
And Josh is twitching.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're going to buy a brand new vehicle that we generated a massive carbon footprint to manufacture in a factory.
Well, I got a new car instead of having children. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lawyered.
My private school payment just
get
went
a new
up.
car. I just don't want to.
My private school payment just went up to $830 a month from $760. So yeah,
I know it must suck having to not rely on that public system that's for free.
No kidding, right?
And still have to pay the taxes for it.
That burns me right
you.
the hell up.
I
am paying so much taxes for other people's children to get an education. Meanwhile, I'm paying $830 a month for my kids to go to a private education where they get a higher academic standard and teachers can actually give a shit. And
Well,
fuck that. I'm paying tax. I don't have children.
well,
Come on.
that's
You have a choice.
Do I?
Okay.
Do I
Anyways,
sacrifice the educational quality for my children?
All right, so garbage.
Yeah.
This show.
We're not going to question education equality for private schools because that will go down a dark hill.
Very, very, very quickly.
So, that being said,
all right, look. So China is no longer taking our garbage. What are we going to do with our plastic?
What are we going to do with our plastic?
so I don't know. So
This sounds like a problem.
So the easiest way, the only solution we've got right now is because our landfills are, there's no room left, and people are not going to let
we
new
used
ones
to send
happen.
our shit to Detroit and like Michigan,
down.
and they don't take it anymore.
So that
melt it down.
So
it's
essentially-
plastic. Melt it down. It melts.
but
okay,
in an
okay.
environmentally responsible way.
So the best way to do that is one, to create new products that are more sustainable and are more easily recyclable instead of like PET plastics and stuff that don't easily break down.
So that's
and the
nice
other
for
side
the future. But
So, and
what
they-
about
and
No,
now?
we do have some current state things.
So in the interim, where our goal is to reduce the waste and reuse,
Absolutely.
and at a local level. And one of the ways in which you do that is through the concept of Pigouvian taxes, which is instead of. But so here's the thing: we all pay for garbage
Yep.
regardless, right? We pay for the infrastructure to manage garbage.
Like
we pay for the
schools.
stuff. We pay for it, okay? Whether you like it or not, it's something we pay for,
Sure,
okay?
sure.
So But the reality is that people don't wrap their minds around that general cost on a larger level.
Yeah.
With pay as you throw, it puts the cost in a more tangible way, and people are more or less are likely to reduce their own cost.
Well, there's also a business component too. Like, for example, Laura and I go to Archie's, a local fish and chips place. They also do breakfast. They've stopped giving out plastic straws. There's ones on request, but they stopped giving out plastic straws.
Sure.
Little shit like this.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to stop giving out fucking plastic toys and Happy Meals too.
Yeah.
Like, just little things like that. Let's reduce the demand for plastic, because guess
That's
what?
fine.
We don't always fucking need all this fucking plastic.
And it takes, 1,000 years to break down?
More than
Sometimes
fucking
more,
like way more. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're starting to get to the end point of our show here, so
We've had a conversation about everything except garbage.
so I just want to thank our listeners, because if you're still listening to us, bless you.
Yes.
God bless you, my child.
Yes.
Bless you, my child.
Anyway, if you're still enjoying the show, make sure you check us out at twoandchange.ca, where you can read our blog. Also, check us
I
out.
wrote a very weird blog entry
I liked
recently.
it. I
You
liked
liked it? I'm glad you liked it.
I didn't say earlier, but I'll say it now. I liked it.
You liked it?
So
Okay.
check out Mike's blog, and you should like this too. Anyway,
It
if
was
you
a
also
very
want to.
yummy, tasty blog.
Anyway, so if you also want to leave us a comment on iTunes, that'd be cool too. Also, Spotify, Podbean, wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll see you next week. Anyway, for Two and Change, I'm Tim.
I'm Josh.
I'm Mike.
We'll see you next week. This show went off the rails really fucking quick.
Really quick. That's good. I really like the look of complete confusion on your face, Josh, when you heard me say it was a tasty blog. You didn't read it? You gotta read that blog.
You gotta read our shit. You work here, man. You work here.
What's going on?
Aren't you our social media guy?
And
We've counted. You've done 2 blog posts.
Two blog
Two.
posts.
Gotta get on the shit.
You know what?
man.
Actually, you know what? Hey, this is timeless. Josh,